we're back. It's a Christmas miracle.
Hey.
Oops.
Yeah, sorry about all the, scheduling's, it's weird. It especially gets weird around any kind of holiday.
Oh, yeah.
And, Christmas is just around the corner. First of all, Merry Christmas to everybody who celebrates.
Hey.
And happy holidays for everything else. And,
Yeah. Absolutely.
It's a great time of year.
Sure.
I hope everybody's having a good time.
Absolutely.
Look for people around you who may not be having a good time around the holiday, and try to help them out. I think that's the. If I had one holiday message to share with everybody, that's the one. So
Yeah.
cool. But yeah, we're back. Sorry about all the scheduling kerfuffles. We were waiting on a trailer that we didn't know if it was going to come, and let's get into the teaser. Why don't we rip the Band-Aid off?
There was rumors that a Mandalorian and Grogu trailer was going to come out in front of Avatar: Fire and Ash, and it's true that did happen.
Yeah,
but it wasn't an actual brand new trailer. What this was essentially the same teaser that we got back in September, but just an updated version. So there's been two updated versions. One, they kind of tweaked it a little bit, made it a little more exciting. And then this one felt like a proper teaser of like, oh, okay, this is actually like a really well put together teaser.
Yeah.
Most of the scenes are still the same, except for 3. Kind of, they gave you a new beginning, they put a little thing in the middle, and then they gave you a new ending to this teaser. What we were going to do, just real, because this doesn't really warrant an entire episode by itself.
No.
That's why you didn't get an episode last week.
We could have given you like a 5-minute episode
Sure.
that came out as a single file in your feed, but we decided to just kind of lump it in with our chapter 16, the rescue breakdown, which we will be getting to in a minute.
Few moments.
But first of all, I want to talk about I think maybe one of the reasons why there has been more of a progressive approach to putting these teasers out. Like they're kind of putting something out and then tweaking it and then building on it and stuff like that. A lot of the things that they added for this go around, I think, were probably VFX shots that hadn't been completed yet.
Interesting. Yeah.
Because a lot of the stuff is very VFX heavy. That is the new footage. We've got big creatures, big monsters and stuff like that. I think they just had more material ready and polished to show us at this juncture.
Yeah.
So
that makes sense.
Yeah. But
yeah.
Let's get into what the additions are.
Okay, so we got a brand new opening to this teaser. So think back to the original teaser. This one's got a brand new opening, and it's actually got Din talking to Grogu.
Yeah.
And it kind of looks like they're in some sort of drop ship. Now, my first immediate thought was, are they in a Mandalorian dropship like we see in season 3 of The Mandalorian?
Yeah.
But it's a little too big for that. I think this is bigger than that. My second thought was, is this some sort of New Republic dropship?
Yeah.
My third thought was, is this the inside of an AT-AT?
Oh.
I don't know. Honestly, it could be either option 2 or 3.
Yeah.
I don't know which one of those is, but basically you have Din kneeling down in front of Grogu, and he's tightening Grogu's armor that he got in season 3 of The Mandalorian. And he's just kind of telling him like how armor works and like how to wear it, essentially.
Yeah. I love this edition. It includes something that I felt was very missing, which was just any conversations about like what it means to be a Mandalorian, what Din's doing in terms of the creed, where he's at in his like personal pursuit of what he thinks that means and all of that kind of stuff, because those are some of the biggest, especially as we've been going through the Mandalorian rewatch. I think those are a lot of the bigger questions we still have, outstanding, and things that we're really looking from the movie.
Right.
But this indicates that I think there is going to be a focus on that kind of thing.
Yeah.
This is, Din with his foundling telling him about one of the most important parts of this culture that they share, which is, Mandalorian armor.
Right.
And the, kind of almost the like sacrament of the armor and Beskar and everything.
Yeah. And I really love Grogu's response to Din. He almost says like, like he's listening, like he's an active listener. Grogu's an active listener. That's what we like.
Yeah.
Us teachers.
It definitely, yeah, I bet. You need a little encouragement to keep you going and stuff, for sure. Yeah, but I like that this, along with one of the initial takeaways we had from the first time seeing anything from this teaser, was that it seems like Grogu is going to have a lot more agency. He's going to
Yes.
be kind of more of an individual and more independent than maybe we've seen him. And the way that I know he's not speaking and talking, but like the way he's verbalizing and communicating seems a lot like, like he's got a lot more just capacity on his own. So I love that they're continuing the progression of that, Grogu's growth and development. And I like it.
I do too. Then essentially the teaser goes on as you remember it. We see all the same scenes that we saw, except we get a brand new scene where Din is using his flamethrower on some snow troopers.
Yeah,
And he's like pointing it at the ground so that like it will just well up. And usually, like he's actually kind of using it almost as a smoke screen
yeah,
to distract and then attack the snow troopers. It's essentially some Star Wars Celebration footage that we saw
mm,
right there. And then I think the biggest change to the teaser is the ending. You get a little stinger at the end. This extended version of Din fighting in a gladiator pit, the same one that it looks like Rada the Hutt is in,
yeah,
and he's fighting all the creatures from a Dejeric board.
yeah,
And it's like, this is real life Dejeric. We had joked earlier, like, oh, this is going to
yeah.
be like the end of the first Harry Potter movie where they're like playing chess. Ron, Ron.
Uh huh.
This is that. This is Din fighting actual Dejeric pieces.
Yeah,
And he's got a sword too. And we actually saw a leak of an action figure
yeah.
with Din with a like just a straight up sword.
Yeah, I can't wait to find out more about the blade. Like, is it a Beskar sword? Where did he get
Yeah.
this? Is this something
Just for
that
the
he's just
gladiator,
like picked up for the arena, or is it something that like somebody's given him for the rest of the movie? Like, who knows? But I like Din having a melee weapon like that. I like the spear. We'll be talking about the spear a lot
We will be
in our
yes,
breakdown
yes,
today.
we will. Yeah.
But so I like him having something like that. And the spear I think will be good.
I
Or
think
the sword.
the
rather.
sword. Yeah, I think that will be fun. I don't know if it's going to last any longer than just that scene. But I thought that scene looked really fun, actually. Like,
Yeah.
so, like, just to be totally honest with you, when we realized, okay, this is just an extended teaser, part of me was like, oh man, we didn't get a trailer. But then another part of me was like, okay, actually, when you think about it, the timeline of this actually makes sense. Like, we don't typically get a full length trailer this early out for a Star Wars film. It's just been a really long time since we've had a Star Wars film, number one.
Right.
And it's been a long time since we've had a Star Wars film in May,
Yeah.
right? So it's been since Solo. Think back to when Solo did its first trailer. It was in February. We're getting reports that its first trailer is going to be also in February. Probably, I'm assuming the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Right, like I assume
mean,
we're gonna get that
trailer in February. That's generally what that, or at least surrounding that event.
Maybe a little bit before the Super Bowl, if we're lucky. But I would imagine that's when we're getting the full length first trailer, that we're gonna actually get some story beats out of this.
Right.
But like I know there's a lot of concern. I'm gonna get back to the Dejeric pieces and speculate a little bit on that. But I know that there's a little bit of concern in terms of the marketing of the Mandalorian and Grogu. This actually kind of relieved my concerns in a way, because they knew that they needed a better version of that teaser. Like if they're going to show this in front of Avatar, which everyone is going to see, I don't know why. It's
not I have not purchased my ticket yet.
I haven't either, but I probably will end up seeing it. But it's just one of those movies everyone goes and sees and they don't remember. It's just one of those things. But if you're gonna put that in front of it, you need a better version of the teaser. And I think they're listening of like that first teaser didn't really do much for anybody. This one gives you a little more oomph, and it kind of shows you and highlights all the fun that's going to be in this movie. This movie does look like it's going to be a lot of fun.
Absolutely. And like, I think when we think about the Mandalorian, that is ultimately what we're here for,
Right.
is a fun, good time adventure. We've got Andor for the heavy, like, political theory side of Star Wars. We've got Ahsoka for the mystical, weird cosmic force stuff, the more fantasy genre leaning elements. But the Mandalorian has always just been a fantastic time.
Yeah.
Like, of course, it has great emotional
Sure.
depth,
It's
in
got
my
all of that,
opinion,
yeah.
and like all that kind of stuff. But at its core, it's just a fantastic adventure.
Yeah.
And this, like, I believe it will be a absolutely fun, like, adrenaline filled adventure.
Yeah, I
Um,
I don't know, dude. It just like, and if you haven't got a chance to see this teaser yet, definitely try to seek it out. Go see Avatar if you can't find it online. But I don't know. It actually kind of worked for me. Of like, that actually looks fun. Here's a couple of reasons why. Number one, the arena, and I don't know if you saw, like, in the arena, there's like those red bars where it seems like it's keeping them inside the arena area.
yeah.
It reminded me a lot of the video game Bounty Hunter where you're Jango Fett,
Jango Fett bounty hunter. Yeah, and
right?
you like don't have your jetpack and
Yes.
weapons and stuff at the beginning, and
Yeah.
and you're thrown into the arena.
Yes.
That's exactly what it feels like.
It even looks that way.
Yeah,
Like,
but with
that's the vibe.
that like almost red clay terracotta kind of feel
Yeah.
to some stuff, and
Yeah.
I that's a great reference.
Yeah.
That game is so fun.
Dude, it was so much fun. It
I
did a
think
lot of
there's a
legwork for Sifo Dyas and stuff like that.
and like Tyrannus, I think
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
maybe the first time we got
Yeah.
Count Dooku's name. I could be wrong about that.
Yeah.
Like his Sith name.
Yeah.
There's a ton in that game that I think Asajj Ventress actually is involved too.
We might need to replay
I'm
this
like,
game.
huh. It is available on I think
It's just
the PlayStation Store. It is.
Yeah.
They've got like a port of it.
Yeah.
I'm
It's
like,
fun.
maybe
It's a fun game. It's
It's fun.
definitely fun. But it reminded me of that, number one. But then just I was thinking through of like, what kind of psycho criminal underworld boss
yeah.
has literal Dejarik pieces fighting it out in an underworld arena? Like, to me, it's like, that's going to be a fun kind of underboss. I don't imagine that this is the big bad of the movie. I think this is like one of those things where Din is trying to get information. In order to get that information, he's either got to team up with Rhoda or like fight for Rhoda inside this gladiator pit. And then he'll be able to get that information and move on. So this is like one of those things, one of those steps before he gets to the thing that the movie's actually about.
Yeah. I imagine this very similarly actually to the opening of season 2 with Gor Koresh and Din going into this arena and looking for information, kind of the next little breadcrumb on his quest, and then things going sideways and him having to fight his way out of there. I imagine something very similar for this, and that kind of implies, who's going to be the cool underworld boss character, who's like, what's that character going to be like? I love, like criminal magnates in Star Wars. I love,
Dryden Voss.
Dryden Voss. I was like,
is that who you're thinking of?
It was.
I just watched Solo last night. So
it's good stuff. I was like, Paul Bettany, but that's not his name. Vision.
Yeah. The guy from
Chaucer from Knight's Tale.
Yeah, exactly. So no, some sort of criminal mastermind like that is being all like, he's got too much time on his hands.
Yeah.
And he's literally having them play real life Dejarik, which I think is fun. But I think too, that relieves me of like, okay, that's not what the whole movie's about. I think they're just showing us like act 1 in this teaser.
I mean, and sorry, I'm yawning as I try to respond. I mean, that's kind of what we've been speculating from the beginning. As soon as the, like, the one of the least credible things that have come out so far, I think, which is like the report that Road to the Hut is the end game, like Imbo and all of that is the entire plot. I think initially both of us were like, no, that's Act 1.
Surely not.
And leads into, you know, whatever the rest of the adventure will be. And I think that's indicated here.
That blurb that we talked about, I think, is still on the table. There's been some people speculating that, oh, this confirms the blurb is not real. No, it doesn't.
No,
I don't think that it does at all, actually. In fact, there's small trickles of information coming out of specifically Star Wars Japan on Instagram. I don't know what their deal is, but if you want to get some Mandalorian and Grogu content, follow them on Instagram because they've been kind of like trickling that out a little bit, and they give like little descriptions of both Din and Grogu. By the way, hilarious description of Grogu. They call him a glutton.
Just straight up. There's no like, oh, he's like a little bit of a glutton. Cute. It's just straight up declarative statement. He is a glutton.
Yeah.
I love it.
I agree.
It's very funny.
It's true. And then it really almost like the next 3 sentences focuses on his force powers and that the Empire wants him for his force powers. Yeah, of course, that's been season 1 through 2 of The Mandalorian. Kind of not really the focus of Mandalorian season 3, but this is a description for the movie. If anything, that kind of leads more credence to that blurb.
Yeah, and the theme of Grogu being like untrained and not able to control his power is also a continued thread. So I think, if anything, it's kind of more evidence that is going to be the case.
I agree.
If anything.
I'm so excited. And, you know, really, when you think about it, February is just around the corner. We're not that far off from the actual first trailer of this thing. You know, because
especially at this time of year, time goes crazy fast.
It's both fast and the slowest thing you've ever experienced.
Yeah, it is the longest days and the shortest weeks you've ever experienced.
Yes. Speaking of, this is our last episode of the year. So we're going on just a small hiatus until January 8th. We're going to be back with the first 2 episode breakdowns of the Book of Boba Fett. So how we're going to handle the Book of Boba Fett is we're going to kind of just do that in chunks. Like 1 and 2 are going to be together. 3 and 4 are going to be together. 5 is going to be isolated. And our friends from the Resistance broadcast are going to be joining us on that episode. They were originally going to be on this one, but because of the scheduling holiday stuff, there's
Christmas
so much
is
going
hard.
on. It is
it's hard. Yeah.
We didn't even know if we could record this ourselves, to be honest with you. So they're going to join us for that one. And then we're going to do 6 and 7 together. 6, 7. We're going to do that together.
You are a middle school teacher.
I know. We're going to do those 2 together. And then we'll be done with the Book of Boba Fett. We're going to kind of fly through that in February because we're kind of expecting Maul Shadow Lord to be soon.
Basically, what we're doing is we're condensing the Book of Boba Fett just a little bit. You know, we're definitely going to dive in. Definitely want to hit it.
Oh, yeah.
But I think just for what we focus on the show and everything, I think Maul Shadow Lord is going to give us more returns on our you know, ability to speculate, and it's new stuff. We want to honestly talk about the new stuff.
I could see Maul Shadow Lord having a bit of an impact on the Mandalorian Grogu if it's dealing with underworld stuff.
Right. Well, and I mean, it's not like Maul doesn't already have tons of history with Mandalore and all that, you know, exactly. So it's definitely on the table for some Mandalorian stuff to come up in Shadow Lord.
I mean, we know Rookcast is in the show.
Yeah.
And so maybe we get an origin story of the Armorer.
The Armorer, and like, wouldn't that be fitting going into the movie if the Armorer is going to have a little more presence?
Okay, so one last thing before we jump into Chapter 16, The Rescue. And if you go to see Avatar in IMAX, there's a countdown, but it's the Mandalorian and Grogu themed, and it's the Forge. It's like the Armorer's Forge, but it's the movie theme. So I don't know if that's a hint that the Armorer might be in the movie or not.
I'm like, the Armorer's gonna be in the movie.
She's like the Obi-Wan Kenobi to Din, right?
To Din. And also there's like, all of season 3 happened.
Exactly.
And we have to do something with some of that, I think, you know?
Yeah.
So, you know, I think the armorer will be making an appearance, but
we'll see. All right. So let's jump into chapter 16, The Rescue. We've delayed long enough. Let's finish season 2 of our Mandalorian rewatch. It's so crazy. The writer for this episode is Jon Favreau, of course. The director is Peyton Reed, who already directed chapter 10 of this season. And this premiered originally on December 18th, 2020. What a great Christmas gift this was. Man, this is probably the peak of The Mandalorian, I would say.
I mean, certainly in terms of its cultural success, like
that's kind of what I meant. Yeah.
But like its cultural prominence, probably.
Yeah. It was in the zeitgeist everywhere.
Yeah, for sure. And just, of course, I mean, we'll get to it. Spoilers for the end of this episode. Hopefully you've already watched it. But, you know, the inclusion of Luke Skywalker was a huge deal, tying them in. Like, I think it opened a lot of people's eyes who had not been paying attention to The Mandalorian that, some stuff's going on over here. We probably need to check it out.
Yeah.
This is also famously or infamously, I think our initial breakdown of this is the most hate or death threats I've ever gotten online.
Yep.
Because I had and still have some opinions on how this finale
we'll get to
gets fully wrapped up and everything. I will say I have softened on a lot of that. Especially,
I don't think you need to. I think it's okay that you had that initial reaction, because I think a lot of people have actually like, now that we've had season 3 of The Mandalorian, have come back to that of like, actually, I think you were right on that. But that is, our initial breakdown of chapter 16 is our most listened to episode of all time. Like we jumped up into the charts on Apple Podcasts to like number 9 in the country. Like it was a crazy time. It was very awesome. I appreciate that, but that's probably why you got such amount of hate, is because we had just so many people listening.
Just
that
the volume of
didn't.
exposure as well. Yeah.
That's basically where the majority of our 1-star reviews came from. All right, so let's jump into this. Little do they know that any review
helps. Baby.
Got him.
We can't lose.
All right, so let's jump in. This episode immediately opens into action, and there's like no slow build in this episode. We just jump right in.
One thing that I do like upon rewatch, I really appreciate about this episode is just the non-stop pace of it. Everything keeps moving. Like everything gets a moment that needs a moment, you know, but nothing, like they fit a lot of action character stuff into a very, you know, short episode, and it feels very streamlined. So that's, I mean, that's an accomplishment.
Yeah. It feels like a movie. Like it's got the pacing of a movie to me, of like, especially a Star Wars movie. There's just a faster, more intense nature to Star Wars, right? Because it's inherent from George Lucas.
Faster, more intense. When that's the only note you can expect to receive from your director, then things tend to happen fast and intense.
Yeah, well, and that's what's happening here. So we get Slave One chasing an Imperial shuttle. We get aggressive flying. They're just kind of weaving in and out, frantic dodging. Inside the Imperial shuttle, Dr. Pershing is visibly terrified. And I think that kind of speaks to his non-combatant role of like, he is not used to any of this. Of course, we're going to talk a lot more about Dr. Pershing in season 3 of The Mandalorian. The man gets his own episode, which is... You never thought that watching season 1, like this guy's going to be kind of a major player. Well, I think he's kind of the creation daddy of Snoke. Creation daddy.
Yeah, creation daddy. That's
a term.
The baby daddy of Snoke.
He's Snoke's baby daddy.
Okay. his cloning. Anyway,
clone daddy.
His clone daddy. Dr. Pershing. You know, we will definitely get to him in season 3. Like he might as well have the Book of Dr. Pershing in there. Like for
it's the longest episode of The Mandalorian.
Yeah. But yeah, he's you know, definitely out of his element in this scene. He is a laboratory man. He is not he's not a soldier.
No, not at all. Boba fires an ion cannon and he disables the ship without destroying it. Of course, we know that ion weapons traditionally used for capture, not kills. We see that in The Empire Strikes Back specifically when they shoot the ion cannon into the Star Destroyer so that they can make a getaway from Hoth. The first transport is away. Yeah. The first man. I'm getting close to that one on my rewatch, so I'm excited.
The Empire Strikes Back, good movie.
Great. Might say great.
It's pretty good.
Pretty good. I don't know if you've heard of it before, but it's pretty good. Pretty good. So they board this ship. We see Slave One kind of come up in front of the Imperial shuttle. I don't really know how they board. I don't know, like the shape of Slave One doesn't really make sense for boarding.
Yeah. They have answered a lot of questions about Slave One in this season. Like I loved the big rotating shot of everybody sitting inside of it that they got. Yeah. I think it was maybe last episode. Or maybe it was 6.
No, yeah, it is the last episode. It's just been a while since we've been recording. Yeah.
But yeah, but I think the more we see of it, the more questions are raised on just how the physics of all of that.
Also, just why did you design the ship that way?
Because it looks sweet, is why, Alex.
All right.
Looks dope to death.
All right. So they board. Din appears from behind, kind of that classic Western reveal when he comes in. And immediately, Dr. Pershing confirms that Grogu is alive. So please don't kill me. You know, that's
like really you don't need to take any revenge. That's not the stage we're at yet.
Exactly. And then I just want to say the acting from this random Imperial pilot.
Yeah.
Dude knew, like, this is my only chance to be in Star Wars.
Like, I have to make my impact.
I'm going to play this like I am Darth Vader. Or you know what I mean? Like, I'm going to play this like I am the worst Imperial in the galaxy. And he does. He does a great job. Like, this guy, he's got like a cadence to his voice. I remember in the original breakdown, I was fascinated with his acting too, of like, this guy, I don't know who he is, but man, he's interesting. But he reveals kind of that fanaticism that I think grew in the Empire, especially post-Endor.
Yeah.
Since really Operation Cinder, we see this level of fanaticism within the Empire grow. Like where I think people of the Empire pre that, like, yeah, we're about the Empire because that's just the establishment. That's what it is. Now these guys are like, really like almost like a religious order type thing going on with the Empire. And you can kind of hear it in his voice when he's talking about how he's proud of Alderaan's destruction because he was on the Death Star. Like he's trying to get a rise out of Kara because he notices that she's a rebel dropper. She's got the teardrop and stuff. And it just kind of, it confirms that the Empire has got this level of loyalist post Return of the Jedi that it's going to be really hard to defeat that.
Yeah.
And really, I think easy for Thrawn to exploit that kind of fanaticism.
For sure. It does set him up to come in almost like a savior figure, you know? He's almost like the Imperial Messiah they've been waiting for when he comes back. Yeah, that's a good observation, I think. Because it is like you're left with people who are true believers in the Empire at this point, you know?
Yeah.
There's not really anybody who's just like following orders anymore. All those people have left.
Yeah. That's one of my favorite aspects about the Alphabet Squadron books is like talking about the people who like defected pre-Endor, post-Endor, people who are still with it. That's just like one of those things of like, okay, these people really, really believe in the Empire, huh?
Yeah.
And yeah, man, I don't know. I find all that fascinating. And then like he even brings up kind of that Mallrats argument of, there were millions of people on the Death Star. How could you do this? You know, it was the least we could do to eliminate terrorism. And just out of nowhere, Kara just shoots him in the head. And there's no conversation there. There's nothing to talk about. I'm going to take this guy out right now.
Yep. It's like this is a lost cause. There's nothing left to do.
Exactly. And then we get a hard cut to the title card, the rescue, chapter 16, the rescue. And then we cut to an industrial planet. And even though this one also looks like Southern California, what I like about what they did with this planet is that they put these huge giant factories and smokestacks on it to make it look alien, of like, okay, this is not just Southern California. This is like a different place. And so you get all this heavy pollution, the factory stacks. And then you see Slave One land at this just random cantina, and you see Bo-Katan's ship outside. And the cantina inside kind of feels like a truck stop a little bit. Like you've got all these aliens. There's this frontier outpost feel to it. And it's really kind of a neutral ground. Definitely not a New Republic establishment, but also not Empire either.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of a good place to find Bo-Katan. And Din immediately, when he goes to her, asks for help. There's no posturing. There's no nothing. He kind of just lays it out like, hey, here's the situation. They took Grogu. I need your help. And Bo-Katan and Koska have a little bit of an issue, especially with who Din is with. Right? When they see that Boba Fett is with Din, there is an initial hesitation from both of them of like, that guy's not a Mandalorian.
Yeah. It tells me that they're aware of the Fetts.
Yes, and they don't like the reputation.
They don't like it. I think Bo-Katan almost considers him like a cultural appropriator or something like that.
Yeah.
Which is funny because like we just in 2 episodes ago or 3, I can't remember, we went through how like he's got every bit of Mandalorian pedigree that he needs to be considered a Mandalorian, like he's got armor that has been passed down, through his family, and the chain codes all check out. And then Jango was a foundling and all that kind of stuff. Like all that's true. But it's fun to see that like not everybody on Mandalore is with all that,
exactly.
They've still got some opinions. Like I think from an audience point of view, there's no arguing that the Fetts are Mandalorian. Like they're Mandalorians, I think, at this point. But I like that in universe, that's still a debate.
Well, I like too, because like Din is on one side and he's saying initially Bo-Katan and her group is not Mandalorian.
Yeah.
But she also has a red line with Boba Fett of like, you're not a Mandalorian.
That's That's such a good point. Like they were almost like, oh, look at Din. He's this like fanatic zealot. Like he's so crazy and like intolerant. And then they're able to turn around and do the exact same thing to Boba Fett. That's a really good observation.
Yeah. So she kind of mocks Din and Boba as bounty hunters. Some of us serve a higher purpose. She really doesn't like the aspect that so many Mandalorians have become bounty hunters at some point in their careers. She is pointing out like, hey, that's not what we're all about. Like that's not what we're supposed to be doing all the time. And Boba, the confrontation with Boba escalates pretty quickly. Bo declares Boba not a Mandalorian, and Boba he says, I never claimed to be one. Then the insults start coming.
He's like, I haven't said anything to you yet. Like,
why are you attacking me? And then Bo-Katan says something about your donor, kind of weaponizing his origin and attacking his father, which is what you don't do with Boba. Like if there's one thing you don't bring up, it's Jango.
That's all he's got. Like you're attacking the one button that he has to push.
Deeply personal attack.
Yeah.
It's not cool.
Like, I think, I like this, though, this whole interaction. It's just fun because this is exactly what is going to be happening in any group of Mandalorians with the nature of them, and like, I think like I can see this conversation and resulting fight and everything happening just like in a big training camp somewhere, or like in a field camp waiting for battle, or like I like the inherent nature and disposition of Mandalorians on display.
Well, I mean, I think when you go think back all the way to like when we started this rewatch in May this goes back to like the Clone Wars.
Yeah.
Like Mandalorians are always fighting with each other. They're always fighting about what it means to be Mandalorian and how much of a Mandalorian are you?
Yeah.
All that. It goes all the way back to the beginning. And we see it played out here in this random truck stop too. Koska and Boba kind of start a little bit of a fight. Koska gets to show off some of her wrestling moves.
Oh yeah.
A little bit, right?
Yep. I mean, you get then Sasha Banks, now Mercedes Monet, in Mandalorian armor for a reason. I think.
Is her real name Mercedes? Is that her real?
It's Mercedes something. It's not Monet.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
It is Mercedes though.
We've been over this on air. I think
we have.
Sorry, listeners.
Bo-Katan shuts it down. She gets them to stop fighting. And then Din reframes everything. He has Gideon's coordinates. Like, hey, we have a way to actually find Moff Gideon. This isn't just like a, hey, come help us. We don't really know what we're doing. We already have the coordinates. Gideon has a light cruiser. He knows that Bo-Katan's looking for ships to retake Mandalore. This is one of those things of like, hey, if we take Moff Gideon out, number one, you get everything you want. You get a light cruiser and you take him out. It seems kind of personal. I don't think he really understands anything about the dark saber yet. He will later in this episode. He doesn't understand that aspect of it. But like he's thinking you can at least get a ship to go and retake Mandalore for this. And so, yeah, that's exactly what Bo-Katan wants. She wants the ship. She wants Gideon. And of course, we know as an audience, she really wants that dark saber because that makes her Mandalore.
It legitimizes her rule. And like, that's her ultimate personal struggle, I think, is that she is the clear right person to lead Mandalore. But so far, she has not been able to successfully do that.
Right.
And so I think really, the only thing that kind of matters in game is that she has another shot at that saber at, kind of fulfilling her destiny.
Right. So we get a little bit of a lore reveal here that Boba's like, retake Mandalore. Mandalore was turned to glass. Like he's like so shocked that anybody would want to go back there. He's like, you're just going to like radiate yourself. Why would you want that planet? It's turned to glass. So that reveals something because last time we had seen Mandalore at this point, we did not know that it had been completely destroyed like that. Not really. And so that kind of confirms it from Boba Fett's point of view of like, what are you retaking? There's nothing to retake there. Yeah. And so he's kind of confused by that. And then Bo invites Din to consider joining the Mandalorian reunification later. Like, okay, well, if I help you, maybe you can come and help me do this later, which is setting up everything that happened in season 3.
Exactly. Which I like. I mean, they do indicate, I think a lot of people feel like season 3 is a huge departure from the main story. I really don't think it is.
We were always going to do this.
Yeah. Like this was always part of it. The show is called The Mandalorian. Like, I don't know. But yeah, this is telling us exactly like, hey, once the quest we're on right now is done, like sights are set on Mandalore,
Right. Yeah, totally. Then we get to the next scene. They're planning aboard Slave 1. And Pershing is restrained, but he's cooperative. And we get to learn a little bit more about the Dark Troopers in this scene. We know that they're the 3rd generation of Dark Troopers. Originally, it was people in suits.
Yep.
And then they've decided droids would be best. So it's almost like we've gone like full circle here. Yeah. Right? We started with droids with the Trade Federation. They kind of suck. Actually, let's get real life people. Actually, they kind of suck. Let's get droids again.
Yep. Right. Well, it was it was like, let's do droids, let's do clones, let's do just folks, and then let's do droids again. So
I guess next step is clones again.
Yeah, I guess so. Clone Wars 2.
Well, I mean, General Hux mentions clones in The Force Awakens.
Well, they had so it wasn't Brindle, but it was somebody else that was advocating for using a clone army for the First Order's stormtroopers, right?
Yeah.
But then Brindle Hux,
No, we can
Armitage's
brainwash
dad
people. Let's
like,
kidnap kids and brainwash them.
Yeah, that's more efficient. Like, is it?
Yeah. Didn't work with Finn.
No.
Or Jaina.
But we digress. In Legends in the EU, was this same? If I'm not mistaken, the progression was like the other way around. The Dark Troopers started as droids, and then the ultimate version was when they were like putting force sensitive people in them. Yeah, like a mech suit.
Yeah.
So I think maybe they've just kind of switched it, but either way, this is definitely an homage to the existing lore for the Dark Troopers.
Yeah.
Either way.
Which come from the Dark Forces game, the Kyle Katarn game,
yep,
where you are playing as a rebel soldier first, and then he becomes a Jedi at some point.
Yeah. I mean, he basically just is Luke again.
He's Chuck Norris in the EU.
It's true.
I think he's a little more Chuck Norris than Luke. He's just he can do it all. He can karate kick. He can karate chop. He can shoot you. He can slice you up with a sword. And he's got a beard. So, I mean, I think he kind of looks like you too, but I don't want to bring it up, but like
me?
Yes. Did you not see the newest Kyle Katarn toy?
I don't think
you.
So.
I swear to you.
I'm Googling new Kyle Katarn.
Put it up on the screen on YouTube.
All right, I'll get it.
They've modeled Kyle Katarn off of you. Like they watch the show on YouTube, as most people should. I know most of our listeners are audio only, but you should check out the YouTube from time to time. Does it not look like you?
All right, it's looking a little like me.
I think present, and then you can pop that.
I'm just gonna download it real fast. This is so exciting for
but they've modeled it after you. Anyways, Kyle Katarn could do it all, and I really liked when they started introducing him in the EU books. He had his own books as well.
Yeah.
Little duology, which was really fun, by Paul S. Kemp, that takes place after the New Jedi Order and Legacy of the Force.
All right, here we go. You ready?
Yeah. That's you. It's
pretty close.
If you don't cosplay as him in Celebration 2027, what are we doing?
That's all right.
And I'll do Mayfeld on The Believer, and we'll call it a day. Call it a day.
Amazing.
All right. So yeah, humans deemed the weakness to the Dark Trooper program. But their vulnerability is they've got massive power consumption, and it takes a really long time to activate them. And Fennec even asks, like, where are they bivac'd? Or she says something like that.
I made a note of that word, and I cannot recall it because it's just I was like,
what?
Surely that's a Star Wars word, but I don't think it is.
I don't think
it's some obscure, like, nautical or technological term.
Right. So here's the assault plan. Bo, Koska, Kara, Fennec. They're going to do a direct assault. The ladies.
Yeah.
Okay. The ladies are going to go in and wreck house.
Yeah. They're the heavy artillery in this situation.
Right. They're going to draw the fire. They're going to draw all the attention. Din is going to do a solo infiltration and go get Grogu while they're drawing all the attention to themselves.
Yeah.
And really kind of lock down the Dark Troopers with a code cylinder. So that's their plan. So then we get the attack. So
it's so good.
And it's kind of smart too to make Boba the pilot and the getaway guy, because like as soon as you put Boba into the mix, especially after you showed what he could do.
Right. It's like why aren't Din and Boba just taking out the Dark Troopers? Like at that point,
exactly,
that becomes a lot more plausible.
He's a little overpowered.
Yeah.
So it's like, why do you need Luke if you got Boba? That sort of thing.
It's also like, at with the post credits scene and everything. This episode is pretty intentional in trying to build anticipation for more Boba Fett. So withholding him, like, I think if you have him on with the ground team, it's too much. It's too much. Like, why do we need a show now?
It looks like Boba and his women. And it's like, that's not the message you want either, right? Like, it's like these women can do this on their own. They don't need Boba Fett.
Yeah. And their part of all of this is such a delight.
It's awesome.
It's awesome.
It's awesome. Okay, so we get the attack on the cruiser, hyperspace shot, Slave One directly behind the shuttle. They're acting all this out, right? The Imperial shuttle is like they're pretending that they're being chased by Boba Fett. And then we get the rare shared hyperspace tunnel visual too, of like both of these ships are in hyperspace together.
It doesn't happen often, but it's not the only time.
It's happened before.
There must be some way in which you can like tether your ships together that way. I don't know.
I feel like we saw that in the Bad Batch as well.
Yeah,
maybe Rebels. Yeah, but there's tension over Gideon. Kara wants him alive because the New Republic needs to bring him justice because he's escaped justice. Apparently, we thought he was executed. Nope, he got away. Or did he?
I think he was executed, and this is just a different one.
Another clone, yeah. And Bo-Katan wants him to surrender to her. We don't. Some of the audience doesn't understand why yet.
Yeah.
But there's a specific reason why Bo-Katan wants to be the one to get him.
And it's important. Like all of us, if you've been doing the Mandalorian rewatch with us, all the way back to the Clone Wars, Technically, Moff Gideon is Mandalore right now. Technically, yeah.
He is the Mandalore because he's got the dark saber. So that's why. So we get the boarding scene. Slave One opens fire on the Imperial shuttle. We get this really sweet TIE fighter deployment thing shooting out of the light cruiser. And the way they do it, it's very Battlestar Galactica, which is cool because of Katie Sackhoff. But then it's also very Gundam too, of like just shooting out the tunnel. Yeah. And like you get the Imperials on the light cruiser like, what are you doing? You can't keep coming this way. And they're like, no, they're attacking us. We have to. All of that's really, really cool. I think this whole scene's sweet.
Yeah, for sure. I was thinking about like the physics of why they needed like an aircraft carrier style catapult system for the ties and everything, because like they're in space. They should just be able to kind of float on out, like even with forward inertia and everything.
Maybe it's for like when they're in atmosphere.
Could be that, but it's also just if like in this instance, these ties are primarily the defense system for this cruiser. So if they're being deployed, chances are there is an imminent threat, and they need to get up to speed really fast. So like you're immediately throwing them into action so that they can that they can.
We're Imperial engineering right now.
Yeah. Well,
I love it.
I'm also just like I love fighter jets and aircraft carriers and cool, stuff. Dude. So I think about this kind of stuff. But
that is fascinating because you're right. There's not as many turbo lasers on the light cruiser as there would be on a Star Destroyer.
Right.
So that's their main point of defense, like you said. So
you got to get if you're launching them, they need to be screaming like quick.
So they are, but the shuttle crashes right into the hangar bay, right? So they kind of goes exactly where the TIE fighters come out. It crashes, and Bo's team exits firing immediately, absolutely devastating any stormtrooper that gets in their way. And then, of course, this causes Gideon to start activating the dark troopers.
Yeah.
And I just want to say, like, it's just really unfortunate, everything that happened with Gina and Kara's character, because it's such a cool character.
Love the character, and like I love her performance.
Yeah.
Too. Like I think it's great. I just
kind of that. Just the whole thing sucks.
It just sucks. Yeah.
I just think it sucks
like,
because obviously
I want my the people who are in Star Wars to like respect everyone participating in Star Wars and everything, but it's also like miss out on the character too. So
yeah, I mean, because there's so much I feel like they could have done with the Rangers at the New Republic show that obviously they were also setting up with this scene of like, that's what this was going to be.
Like, I think that factors into not getting that show more than like, maybe we can see on the surface. I don't know.
Was the
whole thing. The whole thing just sucks. It's not great.
No. So Din sneaks out while the women are causing just absolute chaos on the ship. Din comes out and he gets to the Dark Trooper bay. One trooper prevents the doors from sealing, kind of sticks his hand in before he can totally like exit or evacuate everyone in there. And he makes it out and starts fighting Din. Blasters are ineffective.
Yeah.
Nothing works on this Dark Trooper. Flamethrower, ineffective, though cool. When you see the fire on him.
Yeah.
Whistling birds, also ineffective. Nothing is working. Dark Troopers just repeatedly smashing Din's helmet.
That shot is so nerve-wracking to me. It's like a kind of claustrophobia that it inspires in me. Like I have like a gut feeling watching that shot. It's just like because the wall starts giving before anything, like before the fist or Din's helmet.
Because of the pure best guy. Can we just talk about the music too?
Oh, it's so good.
I mean, what
it's
a
so good.
drop.
There's like this like really choppy like go. It's really cool. It's a super unorthodox thing for Star Wars. I think it's like Ludwig Göransson, I think has just he's a courageous artist. Because like this is a huge swing to include stuff like this. I mean, not really at this point with The Mandalorian. The sound palette's been pretty well established, but just to bring all of these sounds into something that has already such an established, iconic musical language to it, like Star Wars, to bring something completely new, but for it to be a home run and perfectly fit in and work in the same way that like John Williams' work fuels the action and the pacing on screen. This music also does, but it's it's so unique. The music's awesome.
It's so good. I also think it helps like frame what the Dark Troopers are. It's like this like unstoppable force. Like that's how the music sounds of like you can't. This is like a rave. You just can't stop. You can't stop these Dark Troopers either. And I think the framing of the Dark Trooper really, really helps what happens later in the episode of like, okay, the sheer strength, the horror tone of it, they're kind of designed to almost look like Darth Vader, I think.
For sure. Yeah,
right?
I mean, even like, I mean, the like mask part, like where their mouth would be is very much reminiscent of that. The shape of like the back of their head kind of resembles his, like the Shogun helmet type deal.
Right. And then of course, Din finally gets the one up on him by using the Beskar spear, and he uses it to decapitate the trooper. It takes everything in Din just to defeat one trooper. So like we have an idea of how unstoppable these troopers are from this scene of like, man, Din's a pretty good fighter. Yeah. And it took everything out of him to stop this Dark Trooper. Imagine a whole army of them.
Yeah.
So
did you notice that Din uses an Oberyn Martell spear move in this fight?
Does he?
Yeah, I thought that was a fun little homage.
That's cool
to Pedro.
Yeah, because he played that character in Game of Thrones.
Yeah, and you killed my sister. Uses a spear.
You killed my sister. And then his eyeballs.
And then he gets squished like a grape.
R.I.P.
Oberyn.
Great character.
Yeah.
I will be your champion. Din ejects remaining troopers into space. He gets all of them out, which is exciting. Like you think, oh, man, what an Indiana Jones move, right? Like that's one of the reasons I love Indiana Jones as a protagonist, is because he's not always the strongest, but he's like the smartest and wittiest in a fight.
And he can also his superpower is just always getting back up.
Endure.
Like it does. He can take a beating and still make it through the scene.
Yeah. And so like this was like a very Indiana Jones thing of like, oh, see, like shooting the guy with the sword.
Yeah.
This is that moment for Din of like, I'm just going to eject them into space. So the wind feels desperate, but not triumphant.
Right.
Of like, okay. And so then we get to the next scene. Din confronts Gideon holding Grogu, and Gideon has the Darksaber ignited on Grogu.
Yeah.
And Gideon reveals a lot of information from this scene when they get to him. He took Grogu's blood, and he's saying that's all he wanted.
Yeah. I think that's smart to do from a storytelling perspective, because it separates Grogu's present being involved with like how these experiments fit into the future, like the sequel trilogy and Snoke and everything like that. Because now Grogu and Din are free to go do literally whatever in the galaxy, but because like Grogu's blood is on file, basically, that's a storytelling device that anything can still happen without like something directly having to happen to Din and Grogu on screen, you know?
And I keep
Does that
thinking,
make sense?
that makes perfect sense. And my mind goes to Mount Tantus and the Bad Batch, especially those final few episodes when they're dealing with the M count and the blood and, you know, that little machine that has the blood.
Yes.
There's somewhere that same machine has Grogu's blood.
Yes.
I'm thinking back to last episode where we talked to Molly and it was revealed that Dave told Lateef and Brandon Wayne, who are the Mandalorian, essentially.
Yes, they're the physical aspect of the Mandalorian.
To specifically watch the Bad Batch in preparation for this movie.
Yeah. And that's pretty big.
That's pretty big to me.
Yeah. If you haven't listened to the last episode with Molly, there's all kinds of connections to the Bad Batch that I had not thought about before. So it was good.
Very good. Okay, so they took Grogu's blood. The blood could be used to bring order to the galaxy, and I think that is a strong implication and hint towards Snoke and the First Order. They keep using that term.
Yeah.
Order.
Like they all but played Kylo Ren's theme in the background, like in this moment. You know, I almost heard it in my head, even though it doesn't happen. Yeah.
Oh, man. Gideon offers Grogu back. Like, hey, listen, I got what I wanted out of him. How about we call this even and you take him? Yeah. So you're thinking, oh, wow, Gideon's got a heart. Wow. And so Din kind of falls for it, right? Din turns his back. Huge mistake. And then Gideon turns the Darksaber back on and just starts wailing on Din. And I think he's probably thinking, I don't know if this is pure Beskar or not, because this might be like Mandalorian armor that's like, well, we've talked about this before, and not pure Beskar.
Not to get into metallurgy again. It's an alloy, like a Beskar alloy.
Exactly, which could break. And it doesn't work. He takes all the hits. And then eventually he gets the spear out and we get the Beskar spear versus the Darksaber. And this is a really cool culmination moment for Din of like, Din kind of gets a lightsaber fight here.
Yeah. I think this is actually where the Oberyn Martell move comes in.
Where he kicks it up? Are you talking about the kick
It's the kicking one. Yeah. I got that wrong earlier. But this fight is so good. You're right. It is giving the hero of this series the traditional Star Wars hero moment of the lightsaber duel. Because, you know, we know that there's so much more than just the physical things happening. There's this expression of all the character stuff going on, of course. But I like here too that like, you know, I think Din's characterized by endurance and resilience, even in this fight, just due to like how he's, you know, kind of absorbing the Darksaber's energy with the spear and all that kind of stuff. It's I don't know. It's a great fight.
It's a great fight. Oh man, it was so good. And Din gets the upper hand on Gideon and defeats him legitimately, like just straight up beats him. And he decides to take Gideon prisoner. And Gideon smiles and he says, oh, this should be interesting, because he knows what's about to happen. And he can use this to manipulate what is going on with Bo-Katan, because he knows what Bo-Katan really wants is the Darksaber. And Din legitimately beat Gideon. So technically right now, Din is the Mandalore.
Yeah. I mean, again, and Gideon even mentions later that it doesn't exactly work like that. It's like it's the honor, prestige, and respect that winning the Darksaber gets you is actually what makes you Mandalore. Yeah. But if we're going on technicalities, which Mandalorians do love, they also love ignoring technicalities.
The show loves technicalities because remember in season 3 that weird thing underneath Mandalore that beat Din for the darksaber?
Yeah, and it like it technically being Mandalore.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Oh man, I keep forgetting about that.
And I remember too, we were like, that doesn't mean he's Mandalore, guys.
No.
That doesn't. It meant he was Mandalore because Bo-Katan beat him and took the darksaber, and we call it a day.
Yeah,
that's
okay.
Well, that's how all that works out.
Yeah. All right, let's move on with the breakdown,
which is like not one of my favorite things.
It's not great, but
whatever. We can't change it now. So Din brings Gideon to the bridge, and he's got the darksaber ignited when he walks into the bridge. And I remember watching this for the first time, going, "Oh God, oh no, this is not what you do." Because immediately, Bo-Katan's face fell. She was like,
"Yeah,
are you kidding me?
Are you serious right now,
Din?"
I'm helping you with so much, and this was the one thing I wanted, and but he just doesn't know. Din is completely oblivious to all of this,
which is interesting. I know we've talked about this before in the past in our breakdowns, but like how the armorer just didn't talk about the darksaber because Din has no concept of this,
right?
Which is interesting because he's following the old way,
and he's. Like his name is recorded on Mandalore and everything too. Like it's not like he hasn't. But I guess maybe that was during New Mandalore.
Well, I mean, here's how I think we can make this work until this is introduced, like either like proven wrong or not. But like originally in the EU, it was the mask of Mandalore that made you Mandalore. Like if you took that mask and you wore it, you were Mandalore.
Yes.
Then it became the darksaber. I like to think in my head that mask is still out there.
Yeah.
And that's what the armorer follows, is like the true old way.
Yeah. Okay, that's fun.
That'd
be fun. I mean, we've speculated about the mask of Mandalore in season 3, and we've talked about that all the time. But I like that idea.
Thanks.
Anyway,
so Din has no concept. He's got it ignited. Bo-Katan's like, "Are you effing kidding me right now?" And Gideon explains the darksaber must be won in combat, and power comes from the story, not the blade. Like you were pointing out, of like, it's really about like how you defeated your opponent.
Yeah.
And you won the blade, unless it's that weird monster thing underneath Mandalore.
Again, there's an asterisk next to every tenet of the Mandalorian Creed.
and like immediately Din's like, oh God, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Here's the dark side. I don't want this thing.
And he like, you can have it. I don't want it.
Yeah, he tries to offer it to her.
You don't understand. You have messed this up.
Dare you?
Like she's almost more offended by him just trying to offer it to her than him having it in the first place.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I think she's just thinking like, do you not know what this means? Do you not know? Like, do you not care? Do you just not respect? Like, in the same way that she disregards a lot of the things that Din believes about Mandalorianism, he also disregards a lot of the things that Bo-Katan believes.
Right.
So
yeah. So Bo of course cannot accept the darksaber. She doesn't do it. She's like, oh God, that means I've got to fight you and take it. Right. That's what's going through her head. Here's a question I have. Did Mandalore fracture because Bo accepted it freely in Rebels? Like she knew her mistake. So if you think back to the Rebels season 4 opening, Sabine just gives her the darksaber in the exact same way.
Yeah.
And she takes it. Things don't go well, right? The planet gets glassed. The Night of 1,000 Tears happen. Do you think maybe Mandalore fractured a little bit, or at least in her mind it fractured because she didn't take the darksaber the right way?
In her mind, absolutely. I think that's a constant regret she has, and is kind of replaying the moment of her taking it from Sabine in her head every day, kind of deal. In reality, absolutely not.
Right.
I don't. The reason why Bo-Katan's, original rule didn't work out is because the Empire, like Mandalore had sold its soul to the Empire.
Right. Yeah.
And like Bo-Katan is successfully leading a lot of what is left of actual Mandalore, that hasn't been kind of pawned off, like in a spiritual sense. So I don't think it's anything to do with that, but I certainly think it's a regret of hers.
Yeah, it's kind of like if you think for whatever reason you didn't wear your lucky socks and your football team lost.
Right.
It's your fault.
Like, of course, that's not. Yeah.
It's not.
There are so many other factors that go into all of that.
Yeah. You can let go of that hurt right now, listener. It's not your fault.
It's not your fault.
Your socks needed to be washed.
Yeah. It was laundry day. So,
Yeah, it happens. So all this is going on, and then suddenly the alarms start going off. The Dark Troopers are returning from space, and I remember watching this for the first time and going, "Oh yeah, they can fly."
Like we have like the one thing we've seen them do already actually is fly.
Yeah. So they breach the ray shields. They're all landing. Gideon is gloating. He's saying, "Listen, what's about to happen is everyone in this room is about to die, but me and the child. So you need to go ahead and start making peace with that."
It's like, if you've got any final words for each other, go ahead.
And he's just totally gloating. And so you get the Dark Troopers all like just landing, marching up, and then they get to the door. They start beating the door, right?
Yeah.
And you're seeing like, okay, they're starting to make a dent in the door. This is not good. What are our heroes gonna do? Like, we've got Fennec Shand, we got Bo-Katan, we've got Cara Dune, we've got Din, we got Grogu. What can they do? They're all gonna die.
Yeah.
They're all gonna die. It took so much for Din just to kill one of them, and like, there's so many of these troopers. What's gonna happen?
And the answer is they don't do anything.
Then, okay, we'll get into that. Let me set the scene, and then shut up. Then we'll get into it. Okay, we'll get into it. Everyone's preparing for this epic last stand, and then we get and I'll never forget that sound, Mac. And then they say, "Hey, we got something on radar. It's a single X-wing."
Yeah.
At 3:34 a.m. Whatever time this was when I was watching this episode, stood up. I said, "Oh my God." That's an X-wing. Who else can it be? But like in my heart of hearts, I was like, surely not. Because I remember we had been speculating.
Yeah.
It's not going to be Luke Skywalker.
No.
We were telling everyone the Jedi that they called, not Luke. It's maybe Cal Kestis. We were on a big Cal Kestis kick right then. Like, oh, sure, maybe it's Cal Kestis. Or maybe Ahsoka comes back and like decides differently or whatever. But it's not going to be Luke. But when I saw that X-wing, I was like, oh my God.
It can only be one person. Carson Teva.
Right. So the X-wing arrives. Dark Troopers stop marching. Yeah. And then we see a cloaked figure walking through the corridors. And I don't know how to describe, like, I'm even feeling it right now of like that feeling that I am still chasing in Star Wars. Of like, I need this feeling again at some point watching Star Wars. And you see that cloak billowing out from behind him. And then you hear the music.
Yeah.
Which is great. And then you start to see, oh, he's got a lightsaber and he's absolutely murking these Dark Troopers. But you don't see the color of it yet. And so you don't know, like, is this Luke? I'm pretty sure this is Luke Skywalker. I don't have a confirmation because for some reason on this technologically advanced cruiser, they've got black and white cameras.
Yeah, so CCTV, come on.
We don't know who this is. And then all of a sudden, we see the green lightsaber and the music is swelling and he is just cutting through these Dark Troopers. And literally, Mac, I'm not even joking. It is in the top 5 moments of my entire life. Watching Luke Skywalker absolutely cut through, destroy all of his enemies. It's everything we wanted to ever see in Luke Skywalker. And what's so brilliant about this, let me just go on and then you can just absolutely dump on this and we'll have that conversation. But what is so brilliant about this scene is that it's the immoral inversion of the Rogue One hallway scene, right? Like we see his father absolutely cut his way through rebel soldiers who were living beings. This is still maintaining everything that Luke Skywalker stands for at the end of Return of the Jedi. He threw away his lightsaber and said, violence is not the way, except when it's droids. And so, right? Because they're droids, he can absolutely use all of his powers on droids because why not? It's the perfect writing in my mind because, oh my gosh, you get to see peak Luke Skywalker. What we wanted, what so many people were disappointed by in The Last Jedi. I was not, but we get to see that legend that they talk about in The Last Jedi on display right here for all the world to see. He marches through the cargo hold. He's cutting them. The music. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. It's almost like Terminator, like the way he's marching to it. He gets on the elevator. Do, 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 do. It opens. The music. He's just cutting through them all. And then he gets to the last one. He uses the Force. Very Anakin Skywalker like. Just crushes it with the Force. And then it drops. Okay. And then we'll stop right there. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, it was fun. All right, I'm done.
No. Okay. Everything. No, it's. I want you to be confident in what she's. Because I even remember, like, I got as excited about Luke Skywalker as I did, but it's your reaction to it is totally valid.
Yeah,
and it's
I know. I also know like how much this moment means to a lot of people and like how much people enjoyed it. And
it's been 5 years. You can go ahead and let it rip, dude.
So like, I mean, again, I said like watching through this time, not like my opinions are a lot softer than they used to be just because, the stakes are lower when you're not like watching it week to week for the first time and all of that.
Sure.
But yeah, I love seeing Luke do his thing, like getting to see prime ability and capability Luke Skywalker, super fun. The music, all that kind of stuff is great. Like there's nothing wrong with the scene, apart from I don't love the AI mix of the voice. Like they've like blended the original performance voice with like an AI language model of Mark Hamill, I think, and there's like some just from like an audio quality perspective, it sounds a little weird to me.
Sounds robotic a little bit.
Yeah. It sounds like it's like heavily noise reduced.
I will say,
not, but
I prefer that over than what they did with Harrison Ford when they de-aged him in the latest Indiana Jones movie, where they didn't change his voice at all, and you have this really young-looking Indiana Jones with
and
old Harrison
voice
Ford, because his voice has changed majorly.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's just weird.
Yeah,
keep going.
But like again, the moment it's cool. I'm not like I like Luke Skywalker, all that kind of stuff. My biggest disappointment is that this show has introduced me to so many characters that I love and have grown to just root for in a huge way and feel such a connection to. And like in a finale of a show, you want to see all of the themes, all of the interpersonal conflicts, all of the development that these characters have done over the course of the season. You want to see that, pay off and all of that resolve in some way. Like all of the work, things happen at the end to make the whole journey worth it and stuff. And I think that, I know that technically Luke Skywalker is seated plot-wise with Grogu's transmission on Tython and all of that. But there's just something that's not terribly satisfying in the setup for me and all that. It's not like
your
Luke,
heroes are inactive.
right. It's like we haven't
passive.
mentioned Luke's name. We have no idea what he's doing, other than just like some vague statements from Ahsoka. So, I'm like, I wanted to know, like, when Din is absolutely back against the wall, has nothing, like nowhere to go. No, like nobody's coming for him. What happens? What does he do to protect Grogu and that kind of stuff?
He will eat somebody.
Yeah. Like, so, like that's what I wanted out of this season finale. And instead I think it was like, I think writing and pacing wise, we do get to see Din. We get to see Din defeat Gideon and a dark trooper. We get to see all the ladies just wrecking shop with stormtroopers and stuff like that. It's just not what everything culminates to. It doesn't. It's not what it builds into. Like, if Luke had shown up in the middle of the episode, helped out with something then, and then, like, hey, I've got stuff here. Y'all keep going with your mission and we'll catch up later. And then they have to go do something, like our show's heroes on their own without his help. Like, that could have even been a more satisfying way to do it, in my opinion. Kind of giving us both of those things. But yeah, that's my thoughts on it. I just like when it's such a action-packed roller coaster of an episode, and so, like, I'm on the edge of my seat the whole time, and then it's just like Luke shows up, he does a lot of cool stuff, but ultimately that's the end of the season, and we're not really going to pick up on any of these threads again in the next season.
Well, I will say, in your defense, when we watched this the first time, this felt like the true end to The Mandalorian. The way this whole episode ends makes it feel like the whole show's ending. Yeah. It felt like a finale to the show. And in some ways, I think that the writers had originally planned for this to be the end.
Right.
Like, there had only been 2 seasons planned. Yes, the characters would continue in other shows, and those threads would be picked up in other shows. And that, I think they were already thinking about the culmination event already.
Yeah.
But I think this was meant to be the end of The Mandalorian. So in many ways, I think you're absolutely right of like, okay, if this is the end of The Mandalorian, we don't get season 3 like we eventually did, that would be bad. And you're right. But we did get season 3. And I think all the things that you wanted out of Din specifically happens in the season 3 finale, which is why we really love that finale.
Yes.
And like, because Din is so active in that, and he's like actually the hero of that show. Like it's like, oh, okay.
And that's not always the position he gets to be, even if he's the main protagonist. Like, he's not always the hero of every situation.
Right. But in your defense, at the time this was coming out, this felt like a finale. This felt like the end. Yeah. But even then, I'll say you're right, but I don't care, because it was one of the best moments of my entire life. I'm not even joking when I say that. That might be absolutely so sad.
That's not sad.
But it is like, it truly, like, just like entertainment wise, like I was so entertained, and like, it's almost like this high that I've been chasing ever since, of like, I haven't felt that way watching something since then. Yeah. I'm trying to think, have I? Has there been anything? No, there hasn't. Because this was post Rise of Skywalker, right? So the movies are done. No, I haven't felt that way since December 18th, 2020. I haven't felt this way in 5 years. 5 years and a couple days now. And I'm still chasing that feeling. So Luke Skywalker, he gets to the door. They open the door voluntarily for him. And I was still thinking, we won't see him. They'll keep him hooded. Yeah. And like, it'll be this like mysterious, oh, that's supposed to be Luke under there, obviously, because he's got the lightsaber, the green lightsaber. Some people might not know, but we can explain it to them on the podcast that was Luke.
Yeah.
But no, he takes his hood off, and it is Luke Skywalker. I think it looks not as good now, 5 years later.
Yeah.
But I think they still did a pretty good job of like, okay, I did not expect that.
Right. It looks good. I agree with you. I think, I mean, it's also just, we've seen the technology more times at this point. And you know,
they do a better job of it in the Book of Boba Fett.
Yeah, for sure. The lighting and stuff they have a easier environment to do some of that stuff in the Book of Boba Fett than this setting, I think. But it looks fine. It looks all right.
I think we're still proponents of like just recast, right?
Just give like the dude,
get the guy who
the
doing
dude
it.
That's underneath all of that looks enough like Mark Hamill.
And he's the one performing it all anyway.
Right. So I mean, like I think I would prefer just having that. Like I don't need that illusion, especially because like I think including a new a new performer for the character, just like when we cast Alden for Han Solo, not we, the royal we, you know.
No, we did. We were sitting in on that.
Chosen to watch casting directing.
Yeah, we're like, yeah, this guy's pretty good.
But no,
we'll take him.
Like when Alden, I mean, just the possibilities of new Han Solo stories, having an actor who can be Han Solo to show up in other stuff when you need him, like that's exciting to me in terms of future storytelling. So I think this keeps stuff rooted in the past, not looking forward.
Yeah, I agree. Yes, that is a great point. I always thought that whoever they cast as Han Solo, they should have all like. He's also just kind of. It's known he's going to be the next Indiana Jones too. You know what I mean? He's just
like, we're actually recasting Harrison Ford,
right?
And then
we're gonna do Air Force
Two. Every role.
Air
Force 2.
Yeah, we're gonna do it all, man.
Is that how that would work?
The Fugitives,
the Fugitives. I like that.
Yeah,
just two fugitives, too furious.
yeah. We're just gonna do it all.
Cool.
So all that to say, I think it looks good. I'm glad they changed the voice because Mark Hamill's voice has also changed significantly to me.
It is.
But all that wouldn't be an issue if you just recast.
Yeah.
Like just let the performer just do it all. Cause you know, we're smart enough to realize like that's the same person.
We can handle it.
Yeah.
We can do we can take it.
Like I know Shakespeare didn't have the same actors every time they did Hamlet. You know what I mean? Like it's okay. I understand that this is part of the story and you know, like things change and evolve and if we want more stories going forward, we're going to have to like move on from those actors eventually.
For sure.
Like you're saying. So,
and like we're going to have a recast in Ahsoka, like due to different reasons, not because of the, just passing of time, but like because of an early passing, but it's still, it's the same predicament, I think. And I think I haven't heard a single complaint about, somebody else.
Because it was the right decision.
Baylan. Exactly.
Recasting Baylan instead of just killing off the character or doing something even worse, which is just like mimicking the performance through AI.
Yeah.
Obviously the wrong choice. Like make it to where, like we get the character by just recasting. So unfortunate because he did such a good job with Baylan.
Yeah.
He's going to be missed, but I'm excited to see what Rory brings to the character. And I just really want the character to be there.
And it's honoring to an actor's work to make sure that the story they started telling gets its ending,
Yeah. I agree. So. And that's why I always, not to go off on the Marvel side of this, like I always thought that they should have recast T'Challa.
I do too.
Like, I think that was a big mistake not to have Black Panther as part of like what is going on after Endgame, because like to me, he was the leader. Like that's the guy. Like that's the guy you go to post Endgame. And I think that's kind of why phase 4 and 5 kind of fell off a little bit, is because
are there 2 Marvel phases that I haven't been checked in for?
Phase 6 is done.
Oh yeah, so I mean, like again, Endgame is the last thing I saw, basically.
Yeah.
So wow,
you and everybody else, my friend. But like, I feel like having that character being absent, T'Challa, is just a huge misstep in my opinion. All right, so we get the goodbye. Luke Skywalker confirms he's a Jedi. He explains that Grogu needs training. And then Grogu doesn't go to Luke immediately. And Din's kind of like, he didn't want to go to you.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry.
Well, sorry, actually, he has to stay with me. You can just go. Thanks for the assist, buddy.
He doesn't like you.
You're not wanted.
I don't like you either. But so
the nuances of this scene, of all the little performances, though, are great. Even, like Grogu's, like the team of Grogu, they're like the performance they're bringing to life. The Luke stuff, and then, I mean, Din and Pedro here are really shining. You can feel all these little tensions, that are at play. He's like, yeah, this is the quest I've been on. I'm about to kind of, accomplish my task, but like, do I actually want to finish this task? Like it feels like maybe I've discovered a new actual quest, which is like raising this kid and like protecting this kid, not necessarily finding him someone to pass off to,
Right.
It's all the little tensions of the scene are great, and I'm glad those are there, because it makes everything that's happened over the last 2 seasons feel like it still matters,
Right. Absolutely.
that it counts in the end. Or at least this end.
Right. So Luke tells Din, like, hey, Grogu's looking for your permission to go. And so Din removes his helmet, breaks his vow, even though he's already done that, but he's doing it in front of people that he knows, and he's doing it in front of Grogu.
And this is, there's no, he's not being compelled by anything to do. There's no like, what's the word I'm looking for?
Life or stakes. There's no stakes because like he had to do that.
Yeah. It's not like he's got his back up against a wall and this is the only way out of it. He's just truly wanting to gift Grogu with the sight of his face. He just wants Grogu to know what he looks like,
Yeah. And it's the first time that we forget this, I think, but it's the first time that Grogu actually sees his face.
Yeah.
And Grogu touches Din's chin, and it's this very touching moment. And then R2-D2 enters to ruin it all, like he always does. I'm just kidding.
Like R2-D2, he's great. He's
kidding.
the hero of this whole franchise.
Sure. Grogu immediately is curious about R2-D2. And I didn't know that I needed these two characters together, but it's really cute to see them together.
It is.
I would like to see Grogu with BB-8 next.
Yeah.
And then Luke takes Grogu. He starts marching out, gets to the elevator. They're watching, and the elevator closes, and it's the end of the episode. And I truly remember thinking like, oh, this felt like an ending. And then when we get the stinger after the credits, it's like, oh, we're done with the Mandalorian.
It really feels like we're moving on. Yeah.
Yeah. Because then we get the Book of Boba Fett stinger, because we open up on Jabba's palace. Bib Fortuna is ruling. He is fat now.
Fat Bib.
This is also a missed opportunity of the Book of Boba Fett, in my opinion, but I think that it's saying that the throne of Jabba is like leads to gluttony in all forms.
Yeah. Like and
except if you're Boba Fett,
because he's never been tempted with anything like that.
He's
there's
completely pure character who is never tempted.
Again, January, like the January 8th, we're gonna be back with some Book of Boba Fett content, so we'll get into all of that then. But this is like, I also wish this scene was included in the show. I actually wish that like
in the Mandalorian or the Book of Boba Fett?
The Book of Boba Fett. Like I wish it was like just part of the big
opening
instead of it being
now.
Like,
listen, the Book of Boba Fett theme.
Oh. It goes hard. It goes hard. I've been listening to a version of it quite often because I'm working on our newest newest theme music that I may have done by the time we're doing the Book of Boba Fett. So we'll see.
We'll see.
But
who knows? It'll be a mystery. Tune in January 8th to find out.
Like, progress is slow, so we'll see.
Yeah, so Bib Fortuna is now fat. He's ruling Boba. Did you like that? That's pretty good. Finnick and Boba come in. You see their silhouetted shadows. And Bib is immediately executed. No questions asked. He's just shot and killed. They throw his lifeless body off, and Boba claims the throne, which is great setup. But then again, like, he turns into PG Boba in the show for some reason after this. Maybe he gets a guilty conscience after doing this. I don't know what it is.
Maybe they got a lot of studio notes in between the Mandalorian and the Book of Boba Fett. I don't know.
Yeah, like, let's make Boba Fett the next Grogu.
Yeah. What?
I don't think the same audience is interested in that.
I think,
I don't know what happened.
Well, again, tune in the new year for all of the Book of Boba Fett information.
Yeah.
But
so Boba sits on the throne. Finnick kind of like lounges beside him. Really awesome visual.
It's a great tableau.
Right?
Love the, just the shot.
Yeah. And then we get the title reveal, the Book of Boba Fett coming summer of 2021, right? That's what it says.
And it did.
It did. It didn't. I don't think it came. It came. No, December of 2021. That's what it said. So, December.
Yeah.
December. It came out like the last day of December too.
It was again in a very Mandalorian fashion. It got in on a technicality.
Sure did. December 2021. And we will be covering that January 8th, the Book of Boba Fett. Like we said, we're going to be doing episodes 1 and 2 together, which they should have premiered those two anyway together.
Yes. It's going to make way more sense to cover them at the same time.
I can't imagine doing one by itself again.
We were just like, and we'll maybe be back next week to talk about the next episode.
Boba kills a monster from a 1950 Greek mythology film.
The Clash of the Titans.
Yeah. And then we'll do 3 and 4 together, 5 by itself, 6 and 7 together. And we will and then we'll be done with the Book of Boba Fett, and we'll see where the future takes us. But that should get us pretty close to the Mandalorian trailer.
Yep.
And that will be a fun time for us.
Yeah. I know we have been anxiously awaiting, a full trailer. Glad we could talk about the teaser up top. Please let us know if you've got any additional thoughts, anything we missed on that. But I'm very ready to see, a full trailer with some story tidbits and some things like that come February.
Show us the tidbits.
Heck. All right,
see those tidbits.
We have been recording for too long. I think we need to get off mic.
Nothing better than Mandalorian tidbits.
Thank you so much for listening, everybody. If you like what we have done on, maybe not on this episode, but in the past, if you like what we do, please leave us a 5-star rating and review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you listen to us. That goes out a long way to helping out build our audience and just get more people in on the conversation. If you really like what we do and you want access to bonus content and a cool Discord community, you can join our Patreon at patreon.com/Mandalorian Watch. For just $2, you get access to all of that. So go check that out. Like Alex said, we're going to be back next year in 2026 with the Book of Boba Fett.
Whoa! What a great Star Wars year it's gonna be too, man.
Oh, we may need to do something just to be like, all right, we're maybe a little special episode to just declare 2026 the year of Star Wars for this decade.
I mean, we haven't even talked about Starfighter wrapping up filming, fate of the Old Republic video game.
There's been a lot of stuff.
There's a lot
brewing,
that we still gotta talk about.
maybe we'll see about doing a little something. But yeah, I hope everybody has a Merry Christmas, a Happy Holiday for whatever you celebrate. I know I really like to get down on Boxing Day. I'm a huge Boxing Day guy. So
not Jake Paul.
Yeah. Andrew Tate got what he deserved too. I don't know if you saw that, but
except his jaw didn't break because he doesn't have one.
Yeah, no jaw or spine to break to speak of. All right, I'll say it. We're an anti-Andrew Tate podcast.
Yes,
I'm going on record.
Yeah.
I know that's a hot take.
Yeah,
but,
give us a 1-star review for that, please.
I will wear that 1 star as a badge of honor.
Wear that proudly. I'll print shirt for that review.
I'll print that review out on a shirt. Yeah. That'd be great. 1 star because they don't like Andrew Tate. It's like, you're absolutely right.
This guy.
Cool. All right. Well, all of that said, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, but above all, keep the watch.